Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a topic that affects millions of people, but is honestly incredibly misunderstood. We're talking about chronic tinnitus. Think of today's explainer as stepping right into an audiologist's office for a supportive, expert consultation. We're going to take the latest clinical research and distill it down into a comprehensive self-management plan for you. Because we aren't just here to talk about what tinnitus is, we are talking about how you can actually master it.
Now, what if I told you that you could turn down the volume of your tinnitus using just your brain? I know, it sounds a little out there, and I want to completely validate the frustration you might be feeling right now. It's so common to go to the doctor hoping for a magic pill, only to be told you just have to learn to live with it. But as the research clearly shows, while your ear might be exactly where the ringing starts, your brain is where the story continues. And the way your brain reacts? Well, that is something you can absolutely influence. So here is your customized treatment plan for today. We'll be covering 1. The tinnitus anxiety cycle, 2. Your interprofessional care team, 3. Rewiring your brain's reaction, 4. Daytime coping and mental imagery, 5. Protecting your sleep quality, and finally, 6. Becoming an active partner.
Okay, let's jump right into part 1, the tinnitus anxiety cycle.
To effectively manage the sound, we first have to understand how stress and anxiety actually amplify it. It's a total vicious cycle, and here's how it plays out. It starts simply enough, you notice the ringing. But then, your brain's alarm center, the amygdala, treats that internal signal as a real physical threat. This triggers your anxiety, which puts your auditory cortex on high alert. This deepens your overall distress, prompting your body to release stress hormones like cortisol. And here's the kicker. Cortisol actively increases your auditory sensitivity, so the sound literally feels louder to you, and the whole loop just repeats itself. To break it, we have to teach your brain that this sound isn't an emergency.
Moving on to Section 2, your interprofessional care team. Because of that intense physical and emotional loop we just talked about, successful tinnitus management really requires a team approach. This is rarely a solo endeavor. Typically, an audiologist acts as your primary guide, coordinating interprofessional care to develop your personal management plan. Why? Well, because tinnitus is systemic. For instance, a dentist can address TMJ issues that are known to exacerbate the ringing. A neurologist or a physical therapist can jump in if your tinnitus is somatic, meaning the sound actually changes based on your movement or posture. And a psychologist is absolutely vital for cognitive behavioral therapy. It's really about treating the whole body together. Which brings us to Section 3. Rewiring your brain's reaction. Once your medical team has ruled out any treatable underlying causes, audiologists shift the focus to some highly effective non-medical treatments, with the ultimate goal being something called habituation. Habituation is basically the mental process of decreasing your response to a stimulus through repeated exposure. Fun fact here, your brain already does this constantly. It's exactly why you don't feel your socks on your feet all day, or why you eventually tune out a ticking clock in a quiet room. We want to use sound therapy and CBT to intentionally rewire your brain to treat the ringing as entirely neutral, uninteresting background noise.
Let's look at Section 4, Daytime Coping and Mental Imagery.
So, how do we actually reach that state of habituation? Let's open up the audiologist's toolkit of practical day-to-day strategies. If your tinnitus sounds like a rushing noise, try this. Instead of fighting it, consciously build your tinnitus into a pleasant mental image. Picture a peaceful beach with crashing waves. Pairing that rushing sound with a calming picture significantly reduces your personal distress. It's like a mental hack.
Or let's say your tinnitus is more of a high-pitched whistle or a hiss. Try picturing a warm kettle boiling to make a comforting cup of tea. Every single time you're able to link your tinnitus with something pleasant, even if you just hold it for a few seconds, you are actively starving that negative sound of its power. You are literally telling your amygdala, hey, we're safe, it's just a kettle.
Now, alongside that mental imagery, you really need to integrate actionable daytime habits. Notice the environments where your tinnitus bothers you less and make a point to spend more time there. Please don't put your life on hold or avoid the activities you love. And this one is absolutely crucial. Do not monitor or test how loud the ringing is. Checking on it only guides your brain's attention right back to it. Instead, distract yourself. Take a walk to release endorphins, or practice the 4-7-8 breathing method. That's breathing in for 4, holding for 7, and out for 8. Doing that physically lowers your nervous system's reactivity.
Next up, Section 5, Protecting Your Sleep Quality.
We know nighttime is often the hardest part of the day because a perfectly quiet bedroom offers zero competition for the ringing, making it feel overwhelmingly loud. For better sleep quality, a huge rule of thumb is to never sleep in total silence. You want to introduce low-level background sounds to make the bedroom environment more comfortable. Using a white noise machine or even just a bedside fan reduces that harsh contrast. Also, definitely avoid caffeine and alcohol right before bed and give yourself a solid 30 minutes of screen-free wind-down time. If you're lying there and your mind is racing, try whispering a nonsense word like "dot" repeatedly to block out those intrusive thoughts. And finally, if you're still awake after 25 minutes, get up, leave the room, and only return when you're truly tired.
And finally, Section 6. Becoming an active partner.
Putting all these daily routines into practice actually brings us to the biggest mindset shift you'll need for long-term relief, moving from being a passive recipient of care to an active partner in your treatment. Being a passive recipient means you're just waiting around for a magic pill, you're avoiding life, and you're feeling like a helpless victim to the sound. But an active partner, they take control. It means managing your stress, using sound therapy correctly, and collaborating actively with your interprofessional team to execute your personal management plan.
Because as the research clearly points out, taking control of one's own care plan actively improves long-term health outcomes. When you step up and utilize your customized toolkit, from CBT to the sleep hygiene tips we discussed, you empower yourself. You essentially stop being afraid of the sound. And the moment that fear disappears, that anxiety cycle we talked about at the beginning breaks for good, allowing habituation to finally take over.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. Are you ready to take control and become an active partner in your own tinnitus management? Look, the ringing itself might be out of your immediate control right now, but your reaction to it, the interprofessional team you build around you, and the daily habits you practice, those are entirely in your hands. You've got the tools, you've got the knowledge, so now it's time to go build your plan. Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer today, and I'll catch you next time.